Hey, what's up, everybody? Hope you're having a good week so far. It's finally Friday. Get this week over with, and what is today? The 15th. So 10 days till Christmas. Getting close. So I'm back at the gym this morning, fixing to go in and work shoulders and calves, and then tomorrow I'm hitting the legs with quads and hamstrings, and then we'll be back in the rotation. I talked on the video the other day about 2 body part split per day, doing a morning and an evening workout. And so I developed that plan yesterday. It's going to be about from the 20th of December all the way until January 7th. Taking a break for Christmas and New Year's, but I developed that one yesterday. I'm looking at trying to do that just to I've got some time. I'll have some time to recover, some time to eat, and just being able to focus more on each individual body part and stressing that instead of trying to get from one to the next in my hour and a half time or whatever. But I'm going to try that out for the kind of the bulk phase as I go into January, February. And then when I get to January, I'm going to transition to just one body part per day, so that I'll have a chest day, shoulder day, back day, just so that I can focus on pushing in on those individual muscles, because some of them are lagging behind, specifically my shoulders, and then my legs, my quads and my hams are lagging. So if I can put focus on them for an extended period of time, additional stress, additional routine workouts, then that will be helpful to me in the long run. So that's the plan right now. But today I got to knock out the shoulders and the calves, and get them done and move on. So I'm going to head in here and get after it this morning. I got warmed up here with some armband lateral raises, front raises, and did some wall pushes with my calves, get them warmed up. Gonna run through a quick calf workout, shoulder raises, shoulder presses, and then I'll be out of here for the day. Just time constraints, things I got to get to today, and then we'll be back tomorrow, which is Saturday, tomorrow, and do quads and hams, do some squatting, leg curls, leg extensions, things like that. Really blast the legs as best I can. So start out here with some calf raises with dumbbells. Just first few sets to get warmed up. If I can find the right weights here. Ooh. I'll do weighted, and then I'll go right into the extensions like this, non-weighted, but gets the stretch and the squeeze for the calves. Oh, that gets a good burn in the calves. Going right to that. I warmed up by doing 40 of them, so I got them stressed first, and then went with the weighted, and then to the extension ones, or the leaning calf raises. Gets a good stretch, but also a good lift, pushing through kind of the full motion there, going to the top of the stretch, or the contraction, pushing through the toes that way. Excellent for calf development. I've seen some good growth in the calves. Still trying to get balance between my right one and left one. My right one's a little smaller by about ½ inch circumference from right to left, so working to correct that problem, but still feeling good. It's not going to allow a lot of rest between sets just to stress the crap out of my calves. Whoa. Feeling that good. You know, calf muscles, you should tear them down until it's tough for you to walk and you're sore tomorrow with them. That's how my approach is to them. You know, I usually get there just with these two movements. You know, when I do it with the barbell across the shoulders, I can add a lot more weight to it. But still, today with, 80 to 100 pounds additional, getting good tension, good range of motion, good stress. I haven't done a lot with placement of toes, angles yet. Just doing the straight on, kind of legs or feet running parallel to one another, stretching through that. You can turn your toes out, which works the outside of your calf muscles, or you can turn in, work the inside, and really try to get that horseshoe development in the calf. But right now I just go straight on the whole time, trying to work, overall balance in the calf and its development. So I'm not going to be one of those guys that walks around with the swole upper body and the chicken legs, that's for sure. And I'm like everybody else, I don't enjoy doing leg workouts, but part of the problem, it's part of the, not problem, part of the fun to develop that and have the total development of the body. So I'm gonna keep on with this, then I'll jump over to shoulder lateral raises and then presses, and then head out for the day. I'll see you here in a minute on some shoulder work. Okay, trash the calves. Walking around like trying not to step on a bunch of Legos or something. Getting sore. Probably hit them again tomorrow when I'm working the quads and hams, just for a few sets at the end. Just fully trash them out and make sure I'm getting some development there. I'm gonna hop into some lateral raises now for shoulders. Still working them hard, just trying to get overall development in my outside delts. I do a lot of incline pressing, which works that front deltoid, and then I'll do some bent over flies for the rear delts, but also work them on back day a little bit. Just gonna push through as many as I can rep out with 15s, and then I'll jump up to the heaviest weight and work down there for the last 3 sets. Oh yeah, good burn there. I like the lateral raises. I'm seeing some good growth in those. Just keep working it. Don't get frustrated with not seeing a huge amount of growth. But like I talked about the other day, I am working in the higher rep ranges. So probably during that phase where I'm doing one body part at morning, one in the evening, I'll work in higher weights, lower reps, and just kind of transition to that phase for that month from, well, it'll be from the 20th to the 7th. So what was that, 2.5, 3 weeks right there? So just let it go that way. Not a lot of rest in between sets this morning, just to keep moving and make it happen. Don't see the weights I need here. The fun part about working in here that don't always have the best organization, but it's okay. Punching those numbers, and it's 30s. I'm going to drop down to 20s for the next set. Press them out. This shoulder that gives me problems just isn't strong enough yet to push out too much more weight than those 30s. I mean, I could pick up a 50 and I could probably swing it up there, but I don't think that's going to necessarily benefit me, and it'll probably irritate that shoulder a little more. So stick with just working it how I am, make it happen. All right, I'm gonna finish up a couple more sets here, dropping down 20s, and I'll probably finish with some 15s to failure, and then do some shoulder presses with dumbbells, and then take off out of here. I'll see you here in a minute, either with the shoulder presses or in the truck with the after talk about today's workout. So see you in just a minute. Thanks for hanging out with me. Okay, I'm back at the house, finished up with some shoulder pressing, and really did a good job of getting the pump and the stress in the shoulders, specifically the outside deltoid and the front delt. So got some good work there this morning. And one thing I'm focused on right now is that I watch a lot of other guys' workouts and their routines and things, and a lot of guys that have greater muscular development are going through several different movements per body part. They'll do shoulder pressing, lateral raises, front raises, back raises, or rear delt flies, and they're doing 4 or 5 movements per body part, which I think is fine. But for me right now, just considering that I don't have the muscular development that I'm seeking, I'm just focusing on maybe a couple of movements per body part, but pushing those movements to the max. So today on the shoulders, it was lateral raises. I'm going to failure with the weight that I can fail at. And, right now I'm failing about 15 reps on the last set with 20-pound weight. So, in the future, like I said earlier, I could probably throw up a 50-pounder with some help from my legs and back movement, or kind of throwing that thing up there. But I don't think that's going to be effective. So I'm working on 1 or 2 exercises, probably 2 most of the time, per body part per day, and just working that to the max, to failure. And I don't have to get too fancy. I'm not doing a lot of drop sets or anything like that right now. Sometimes, to finish off, I'll go with my heaviest weight that I can lift for 10 or 12, and then I'll drop down 5 or 10 pounds if I'm using dumbbells, or 10 or 20 pounds if I'm using a barbell, and just finish that out with reps, just to get that full pump and the full additional time under tension for that muscle group. So I don't think you have to get too elaborate if you're just starting out. We can watch all the Instagram guys and YouTube guys and watch everything that they do, but I think just to keep from getting frustrated, trying to learn a bunch of different new movements and the latest and greatest technique, just get in there and do what you can with the equipment you have. And that's another thing, I'm limited with equipment to barbells and dumbbells. And so I just have to work with what I have. And I think, I believe fully that doing something is way better than doing nothing. And doing a couple of movements per body part and pushing that to the maximum level will be way more effective than trying to jump around from one movement to the next and trying to get that latest and greatest movement. And at the end of the day, you're still working the same muscle group. And so I'm just working hard at pushing, pulling, and overall muscular development. Just getting that maximum growth that I can, and it allows me to focus in on that particular exercise that I'm working on. So that's what's helpful to me right now, and I'm seeing progress. It's way slower than I want to. We live in that society where we want it now. When we want it, we go get it. And bodybuilding health just doesn't happen that way. It's a long-term investment that you build on in the short term. So I think I talked about it the day before yesterday. It's like you have the goal for a year from now, but you just have to do today's. Like your long term, you can look at it, you can dream about it, you can have the picture on the mirror where you're like, I want to look like that dude. But in the long term, in the short term, you just have to hit today. You got to make sure you hit it and make sure you make it happen, regardless of what you feel like and what's going on around you. Sorry, camera just shut off in the middle. I'm not sure, but you have to make sure you hit that movement and be effective in the mindset to focus on that muscle group and push through to your maximum potential in that moment, in that day, in that gym session. So that's really what I'm looking at. It's what I'm really working at to get make sure things are moving forward. So anyways, that's what I'm thinking about. And something else I read this week, and I haven't dug into the research on it, but was watching a video, and this lady said if you're 50 years old and you can put in 2 years of rigorous exercise activity, you can actually lower your heart age by 20 years. So you're 50, you put in 2 years, you're 52 years old, then it actually strengthens the heart to where it ages. It looks as though it's 32 years old. Kind of interesting. Haven't dug into the research on that, but I do think there's some validity to that just the rigorous activity can really build into that muscle of the heart. It's pumping all the time, it's working all the time, but raising its use, it's pumping, when you get your heartbeat going, just adding the strength to that. And so, if nothing else, if you're not a bodybuilder, if you're not trying to put on a lot of muscle mass, at the end of the day, you need to be active at an older age, like I am, middle age, and making sure you're keeping not just your physical figure looking how you want it or close to how you want it, but you're keeping your heart strong, your vascular system strong, and things like that. So something to think about if you're scrolling through YouTube one night and you're like, I want to get out there, but I'm not. Maybe that's motivation for long-term overall health. And that's another long-term goal. You got to say, I'm doing it 2 years. I mean, and then that strengthens that heart muscle and adds to it. So, it's all a long-term goal executed in the short term. And so I would challenge you with that idea. I challenge myself with that idea every morning. I wanted to stay in bed this morning, not going to lie. It's been cold. It's been rainy, been cloudy for the last 2.5, 3 days. So, I'm just kind of dragging around. Would feel better to take a longer rest, sleep in the morning, take a long nap in the afternoon. It's that kind of weather. Of course, the days are shorter, less daylight. And with the cloud cover, you don't get the sunlight to kind of kick your system on during the day. So, those are just things we have to make adjustments to. And regardless of what's going on around us, we continue to push through in those moments. So anyways, that's where I'm at. Hopefully I can be an encouragement to you. Hopefully you have a good rest of your Friday, looking into the weekend, and hope you have a great weekend. I'll see you tomorrow with legs. Going to do quads and hamstrings, and I'll probably hit the calves once again. I'm going to get in here and get some breakfast and then get to work this morning. So I hope you have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow.